Hey folks, did you know that Trump recently spoke to Moms Demand the Spotlight? I mean Moms for Liberty. And boy, did he drop some steaming turds. I mean lies for the swooning ladies. The most notable one was about trans kids. Shocker. He said your kid goes to school and comes home a few days later with an operation. The school decides what's going to happen with your child. And you know, many of these childs 15 years later say, what the hell happened? Who did this to me? Yeah. And guess what? In the next week, I'm going to hear from all kinds of all capsters screaming in my comments that kids are going to school and coming home a different gender. Yeah. Well, I've been thinking, folks, MAGAs are clearly going to believe whatever they hear from the moron with dementia, so it seems only appropriate for Dems to join in on the fun. Let's come up with some of our own cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs lies and spread them far and wide across the internet. I mean, I've got a pretty good imagination. I think it's time I use it to match Orangina's energy. Okay, let's see. Well, to start, did you hear that Republicans are going to start rifling through the trash bins of Democrats across the country in homes with fertile women and girls? Yeah, they're going to save all the tampons and pads and track whether or not there's a pregnancy slipping under the radar. Totally true. Those Republicans ought to be ashamed. Also, did you know Republicans are going to require every public school to build a chapel? And they're going to bring in priests, you know, the special kind, to force kids to give their lives to Christ. Yeah. Also, Republicans are going to set up a work for healthcare program for seniors, and seniors who are still functioning will be assigned a manual labor job for a minimum of 5 hours a day. Even the folks who have memory issues can be trained to work in a factory. Yeah, the program will start at age 75 and will be in effect until the person turns 100, or until they die, whichever comes first. Did you know Republicans are going to fire every single teacher and make kids watch their lessons online, all taught by members of the Trump family? That way, all federal school funding gets funneled back to the Trump family. Also, did you know the Trump campaign plans to start massive fires in California every year, just so they can withhold aid and watch the Californians suffer? Boo, Republicans. They hate America. They do. Oh, and Republicans plan to give guns to the first 5,000 Americans who show up at the border each day and give them each a 4-hour shift at shooting migrants. Then the shift will change and the next 5,000 vigilantes will get a turn. Yeah. They haven't figured out how they're going to hide the bodies, but Elon Musk is scaling up his Cybertruck. And there's going to be some scooping mechanism attached to it that can just sweep bodies into the truck. They can decompose there so nobody will find out they died. Great plans. J.D. Vance is even pitching a plan to shut down utilities and government services for single ladies until they find a husband. Single ladies with cats are going to be served citations if they don't have children. And lesbians are not going to be allowed to stay lesbian until they have 2 babies with men. They figure they can turn those women hetero once they've experienced a real Republican man. By that, I mean a pudgy Proud Boy with a donut addiction and a pet iguana. And wouldn't you know it, evil Republicans are going to recruit select 10 to 15-year-olds to do manual labor in exchange for room and board in cages. The only exceptions will be for girls who are willing to be impregnated by Republican congressmen, in which case they'll be put up at a Trump hotel, but they'll have to pay for their own food and foot the bill if they have to have a C-section, which will incentivize them to stick out the labor even if it kills them. Boy, folks, these Republicans are nasty, aren't they? Well, you know the drill. We all have to do our part and make sure to repeat each of these totally believable fabricated truths, preferably in all caps with lots of spelling errors and flag emojis. And of course, if any of the MAGAs don't believe you, just tell them to do their research. Yeah. Well, Republicans, have the day you deserve.